What causes good people to harm others? How do we injure when intending to uplift? How do our actions unwittingly become misaligned with our central, sincere objectives? Such questions stem from a pattern I've observed in myself and others. Good people and groups unintentionally do harm when their actions and motivations are misaligned. Curiously, when individuals and organizations act in this way, we are usually blind to both the mismatch and the harm. As a result, situations like this are difficult to understand and correct. This talk explores how competition between paired priorities produces this pattern. Of course, these are complicated and complex issues. Thus, like a telescope, although the relative strengths of paired priorities can see far, it does not see all. This talk First, some background. The Christian plan of salvation outlines the long arc of humanity. It tracks progressing human agents through premortal, mortal, and postmortal existence. Many transhumanist perspectives see the arc of human progress as leading either to extinction or to a society of superhumans, being so advanced in knowledge, lifespan, and goodness that they are beyond human. Many Mormon transhumanists equate superhumans with gods and consider superhuman society as God, as the celestial kingdom, the church of the firstborn, heaven. Efforts to join superhumanity require that we make wise decisions. Choices between harmful and productive alternatives are generally straightforward. However, some decisions are trickier. For example, honesty and kindness can make competing claims on how we answer a friend's question. When such tensions arise, we must prioritize our objectives. We perform this calculus best when we align with superhuman values. This then is the calculus of superhuman priorities, to employ superhuman values when choosing between competing goals. Say it again. This then is the calculus of superhuman priorities, to employ superhuman values when choosing between coupled goals. Without explicit analysis, it is easy to be unaware of the tension or to conclude that we are serving both priorities equally. Implicitly choosing the wrong priority explains why good people and organizations sometimes act contrary to their core aspirations. It also explains why we are often unaware of both the mismatch and the damage we cause. Two quick examples will set the stage. The first involves competition between income and expense. Consider an account balance that rises and falls as the money comes in and goes out. Earning money is good, and so are healthy expenditures. Both are necessary for progress. Even so, only accounts that prioritize income over expense produce economic thriving over the long term. Accounts that allow expenses to become the priority eventually fail. They lead to economic extinction. A second example, consider the academy. Knowledge is the primary goal of most academics. However, the necessary pursuit of funding and promotion can overcome the quest for knowledge. Expressed differently, when funding and promotion take precedence over knowledge production, academics can act inconsistently with their primary aspirations. So it is with paired priorities in many areas. In our efforts to join superhumanity, prioritizing God, loving others, and acquiring knowledge play prominent roles. In each of these areas, paired priorities help illuminate our motivations and approaches. I focus here on the tension between just one set of paired priorities: compassionate respect for the individuality and agency of others, vis-a-vis a caring commitment to help others flourish. So comparing compassionate respect for the individuality and agency of others as compared to a caring commitment to help others flourish. Obviously, both of these are key components to loving others. Deciding how to support our loved ones generally requires identifying how we can best help them. Once identified, we desire these good things for them. Often these desires morph into expectations related to what we judge as best for them, so that this relationship becomes a sort of a competition between agency and expectations. In this way, our love can lead us to expect those we love to comply with our judgments. When this happens, our desire to help fuels expected compliance. These expectations can benefit and harm those we love. Careful attention to how we prioritize agency and expectations can help us intentionally align our actions with what we value most. We show unconditional love for others when caring expressed as respect for agency wins out over caring framed as expectations. That is, when we value the individuality and choices of others more than our hope that they will do the things we think are best for them. Unconditional love is accepting others without strings attached, without prerequisites, restrictions, or constraints. When we love unconditionally, those we cherish know that there is nothing they can do to change our commitment to them or how we value them. Although unconditional love does not require supporting bad behavior, such acceptance does require loving others even when they behave poorly. This kind of love demonstrates that our commitment to others overpowers our judgment of them. Jesus encouraged us to keep expectations in check and to love those who behave poorly when he invited us to judge not and to love those who intentionally do us harm. Unconditional love clearly communicates that individual worth is inherent, not contingent. In addition, it plays the long game. It is respectful, patient, long-suffering, gentle, and kind. Unconditional love emphasizes who we are, not what we do. Practicing unconditional love is liberating. It frees us from the mistaken idea that we are responsible for or must control the choices of others. It centers us in the joyful work of providing caring connection and supportive scaffolding as compassionate colleagues and mentors. Unlike unconditional love or acceptance without constraint, conditional love is restricting. It is a burden, a crushing weight. This way of interacting with others results when expectations and encouragement to comply overcome respect for others' agency. Conditional love expects something in return. It is caring that seeks to obligate. It expects compliance. It is love, praise, energy, and approval given to encourage what we judge to be right action. Conditional love can excel at efficiently influencing others, and it can produce laudable short-term gains. However, when expectations trump acceptance, those we serve end up feeling unvalued, betrayed, confused. Overvaluing compliance teaches others that their worth depends on their actions, leading many to search for worth where they cannot find it, in the approval of others. Such approaches focus us outward and downward instead of inward and upward, and they give others power over us. Those who love conditionally diminish or withhold their love when others do not comply. Often unwittingly, they use acceptance as a nose ring to pull people where they want them to go. This way of behaving opposes individuality and self-determination. Aspects of the plan of human development that Scripture indicates we fought strenuously to defend before coming to earth. Thus, those who value compliance over agency bat for the other team, which moves them away from celestial relationships and superhuman society. No matter how much love we show, Our acceptance is no matter how much love we show, our acceptance is conditional when our expectations outstrip our respectfully patient kindness. Thus, even when our love for others is incredibly intense and committed, conditional love leaves them feeling empty, unvalued, and betrayed. In such situations, our care for others expresses as a kind of toxic positivity that, in the long run, burdens as it seeks to uplift and damages as it seeks to heal. Viewing the different faces of love in this way helps us understand how expressing priorities out of order can cause good individuals, groups, and organizations to unwittingly hurt those they are most interested and committed to helping. Significantly, how our love affects others results from the relative strength, the ratio, of agency and expectations rather than their absolute magnitudes. This view constitutes the calculus of superhuman priorities. Thus, our efforts to become superhuman involve more than having good motives and striving to do good. They also require nuanced attention to and application of godly values. And ratios of paired priorities can help us analyze and understand how well our actions align with our primary aspirations. I conclude by pointing out a few other key ratios related to connecting to superhumanity, loving others, and seeking knowledge. Finally, if this topic interests you, I'll be preparing an expanded manuscript for publication to Wayfair, which is connected to the site that we're in. Thank you.